Morning, Fractal Effects team. We're just following the market from the early session, so if you're joining us, please make sure you read the disclosure in the footer section of fractaleffects.com or in the description of our YouTube channel. If you're following along with us, make sure you do in a demo account, as this is for educational purposes only. We are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice. So let's jump right into it. We have a double break to the upside. All London obligations have been met. This was the last London obligation. We had a break to the downside. Now London hit that 4-hour fair value gap. We came back, tapped that first presented fair value gap, double break, back to the one of our key zones. We're sitting right at the DSD high and the NYC fair value gap. US 500 also has a double break to the upside. We have not done a retracement yet. So after retracement, we just wait for that first 5M bullish fair value gap to be created. And we'll aim for all-time highs. But we need that foothold to climb up. I wouldn't call this an engulfing candle yet. So I want to see this next one actually form. But right now, all of our bias is bullish. Just looking for a proper entry. Remember, today was CPI. That's the news right there. Dropped at 8:30 Eastern Standard. These are days beginners should not be trading. Even with this setup, you'll see that it's not always as easy as it looks. Again, if you're following along today, make sure you do in a demo account. This is a day that we normally do not trade. CPI, PPI, FOMC, non-farm payroll, anytime Fed Chair Powell speaks, or even Trump now. That will shake the market. You will not see a consistent algorithm on those days. They use those days to reprice the market. They use the news as a smokescreen to reprice the market. So you're not going to get the cleanest setups. See, even here. We most likely will not get that proper 5M fair value gap and that push until US 500 has completed its retracement, which is fine. That's actually better for us because we know that it will not most likely drop, or the probability of it dropping after that retracement are lower. I'd like to see US 500 come all the way back down, tap this 20 EMA. There's your double break from US 30. Now they're all three of these indices are telling you that they want to go up. The only difference is US 500 and US 30 are already at their all-time highs. Nas's all-time high is right there. And then here's a huge daily DSD that we painted out. That's above all-time highs. That's where we think the market is going to go after that, after it clears the all-time highs. But again, got to wait for all the points of confluence to be met. Just looking for a 5M bullish fair value gap. Want to see that get tapped. Immediate rebalance. And then a 1M bullish fair value gap. At the same time with US 500, I'd like to see that retracement back into here. Now, it could give us a bullish confirmation and then do that retracement. Either way, this is the area I'm interested in. Otherwise, this is a runaway train right now. We're at all-time highs. We're past all-time highs, so this is all-time highs right here. Always aim for the low-hanging fruit. Right now, we're above the low-hanging fruit on US 500. So NAS is the only interesting asset. We have the double break. We have the retracement. Now we're just looking for the foothold so we can climb this mountain all the way to the all-time highs. Let's see if it gives us that. Now we just got to remain patient. We have about an hour. Remember, if we're not in a high probability trade setup within an hour of the range formation, we're done. So the only thing that's going to really change any of our bias is, of course, the fact that today is CPI day. As mentioned before, once you become a pro, these are the days you want to take off. Sleep in, enjoy time with your family. You don't need to be trying that hard to try to make money on PPI and CPI day. The algorithms go sideways. It could consolidate all day, actually, if it wanted to. That's why we wait for our confluence. So one more time, just to reiterate, we're waiting for US 500 to come back down here. This is where I'm interested. And for NAS, I want to see a 5M bullish fair value gap created as my foothold entry to go past the DB and then into the all-time highs. Just got to remain patient. Now it's just a waiting game. Three minute, 22 seconds left. Let's see if this is candle 2 in the 3 candle pattern that creates a fair value gap. And remember, our indicator paints the fair value gaps out for you. Right there, right there. You just got to get good at looking at it yourself, though. Understanding what they are, how they work. And then you draw them out across with a box. Keep in mind, we are looking at the CFD contracts, but this strategy works across all assets, Forex, futures contracts. It's all the same. Two minutes, 13 seconds left. US 500 could also give us a bullish confirmation on this candle if it just pushes up a little higher. 1 minute, 41 seconds left. Let's see if we get that bullish confirmation, which is even more confluence. But again, keep in mind we are at all-time highs. So it's already swept all the liquidity that it possibly could to the upside. That's why you want to be careful. NAS, we still have some room to go. One minute left. I'd like this bullish confirmation to stick. Then I'd like to see that retracement. .37 seconds left. This bullish confirmation could cause both of these to pull back. This could pull back all the way down here. NAS could either have one full pullback or it could help us create this 5M bullish fair value gap with candle 3. That's why we're waiting. I'm not worried if it crosses here. I'm still looking for that bullish fair value gap, and the target would be all-time highs. Again, if it keeps running off without us, that's fine. I need a foothold. That's the only way you can climb a mountain. 2, 1, there's your bullish confirmation. Now we cannot sell these markets. The US 30 confirm as well. It's hard to see right behind this double break. There it is. Yeah, US 30 confirmed as well. Not really interested with the US 30. It's just a runaway right now. So we just took out the double break. But I'm still interested to see if this bullish fair value gap sticks. That will be our foothold to go high. Just going to get rid of that. Remember, the reason we wait for these confirmations, there's an 80% chance that the market will retrace back into our range after we get that confirmation. This is the area I'm interested in. Doesn't have to come this low, but I want to see at least come down and touch that 20 EMA. 3 minutes, 43 seconds left. And here on NAS, I want to see if this fair value gap stays open. This becomes my foothold entry. This is a pretty big fair value gap. Let's see how much of it stays open in the next 3 minutes. Two minutes left. So now this will be the deciding factor. So we've got about 1:40. This is where the POC is for this move. A lot of people went bullish right there. So it could dip down as low as this just to take that out. And push up, but we'll see. 43 seconds left. US 500, I'm not sure if it's going to give us that pullback. Looks like it's a bit of a runaway. Same thing with US 30. No pullback after that double break. After that confirmation. This is where I wanted to see US 30 pull back into. 5 seconds left. There's your fair value gap. I want to see the market come back into here, and that will be our foothold. Let's see if it runs off without us or if it comes back in here. Remember, if it runs off without us and hits that all-time high, we're done for the day. Quick session. Otherwise, I want to see it pull back in, maybe even as deep as this, take out this POC. But I want to see it come back in here and give us that immediate rebalance, and then we'll look for an entry on a 1M. It's really just sticking to the rules. That's what makes a successful trader. 95% of traders fail because they do not follow the rules. So it's an internal battle. Your success is not external. If you're looking at a mirror, that mirror is only going to change depending on what you put in front of it. If you want to see the vision of success, then you have to change yourself internally. What are the things that lead to your FOMO? What are the things that lead to your stress? You know, some people are very, very stressful traders. Cortisol levels spiking, heart rate spiking. They're just sitting there biting their nails. And again, it's because they're not confident in their move. They're not confident in their skills. They're not following their strategy. So work on yourself. The reason I always say that this is the industry that you're in is psychology. It's not just because the algorithm is messing with you. You know, the algorithm is throwing psychology at you, psychology and reverse psychology, but it's how you react to it. Believe it or not, trading will actually teach you a different kind of discipline, confidence, and maybe even help you figure out certain other issues in your life. I know it has for me. I had to change internally in order to be a good trader. I had to take a good look at myself. What are the reasons, you know, or what are the roadblocks that are in my way to achieving this goal? It was a mindset. Why is my heart rate spiking? Okay, well, maybe I'm not following the rules. Why do I get FOMO? Like what like at its core, what is that fear? Fear of being unsuccessful? Fear of not accomplishing, again, my goals, or even maybe fear of success. You never know. But trading will really, really force you to take a look at yourself internally. What is the version of yourself that you're presenting? What's standing in front of that mirror? The external world is just a mirror. It can only reflect what you have inside of you. So if you want to be successful, you got to start internally first. Even though I'm not a religious person, I still love the quote, "If a man think it, so shall it be." It all starts with an internal mindset. The second you think of something, that's when it begins. That's the seed. The second you're holding it in your hand, that's just the projection of that thought coming to fruition. Like ripples on a pond. You know, when I drop the pebble, that's the second the ripple begins. The ripples get bigger the closer they get to the shore. So the second, whatever it is that you thought of, the second it enters your hand, that's just the ripple hitting the shore. That's when it's at its biggest, right? The ripple hits the shore, that's when the ripple is at its biggest. That's when the thought is at its biggest, when it hits your hand. But it started the second you thought it. We do have our bullish confirmation. We do not have a retracement yet, and without that retracement into this fair value gap, I'm not interested. Again, it can run off without us. That's fine. I do not care. I'll catch the next one, or the next one, or the next one. These trades are no different than a train. It's on a train schedule. There's one happening every session. If I don't catch New York, I'll catch Asia. I don't catch Asia, I'll catch London. Don't catch London, I'll catch New York again tomorrow. Again, tying it back in, most people who suffer from FOMO think that this is it. Today's Thursday, I gotta get a trade in. I haven't gotten a trade in all week. First of all, it was not the best trading week. CPI, PPI news, if I remember correctly, I think Tuesday was rather dry. All of these things lead to people getting FOMO, but in reality, there's trade setups every day. There's trade setups every session. It's all right if you don't catch this one, but again, I'm going to wait for the market to come to me. We stalk the market. We do not chase it. And I'm waiting for it to come back here. We get rid of this right now. We don't need that anymore. But here's the latest POC, point of control. Most people went in for a buy here. I want to see if it comes back into here and maybe as low as that. And then get an immediate rebalance, and then we'll look for that setup. But if I don't get it, I don't get it. And then again, that's what makes a successful trader. Somebody who waits patiently. Patience is the biggest virtue that you can possibly obtain. Not just in life, but in trading. That's what separates a great trader from your regular retail traders. Think about how many people went in long here without a foothold. They just saw that immediate rebalance. Okay, well, hey, engulfing candle, immediate rebalance, maybe on a 1 minute, and they went long. And it might pay off. Some of them might have already got out. But again, that's not a foothold. It could come back and sweep that. So all these people might be in profit, and half of them don't even exit their position or take like some off the table. It could come back and sweep that out. So here we go. We're finally coming back into this fair value gap that we were looking at. Got lots of time. Got 40 minutes right now in this session for our window of opportunity. Look at US 30 all of a sudden. Looks like it wants to drop. US 500 wants to drop. I want to see it come back into here, possibly touch that 20, maybe even sweep this POC. So the point, the one that TradingView has, it's called a fixed range volume profile. It's right here. It's like the fourth down on the tools. You'll find it somewhere in here. Fixed range volume profile. You tap the candle you want to start the POC from, and you tap the end. So for this one, we did it right here. This was the last low. That was the last high. And it showed us where the point of control was, meaning where did most of the trades come in. They came in right here, and they were mostly buys right here. The blue is buys, the yellows are sells. So the yellows have already been taken out, obviously. But a lot of people went in for a buy here. Remember, zoom in, make sure your fair value gap is perfect. We have not touched that fair value gap yet. So the point of control just helps you kind of visually see where everybody went in, because the market makers can see this as well. Remember, the market literally lives off of two things. What's the lifeblood of the market? Liquidity and inefficiencies. Sweeping liquidity in the form of highs and lows and filling in inefficiencies in the form of fair value gaps or volume imbalances. And once it does one, it wants to do the other. We took out this high, that was liquidity. Now it wants to fill in this fair value gap. External to internal, back to external. That's the way to remember it. Internal, external, external, internal. Here we go. Coming back into this fair value gap. I want to see it at least cut in deep. Doesn't have to. I'd like to see it. I'm not even interested in dropping down to the 1 minute time frame until I see an immediate rebalance on the 5 minute. I want to see an engulfing candle. So until I see it at the very least a green candle, I don't even have to drop. I can just keep watching this. It could give me 2, 3 red candles in a row. Who knows? There you go, slowly coming back in. US 500 coming back down too. .38 minutes left in our stream. More than enough time. Now keep in mind, US 500 and US 30 have already taken their all-time highs. This is where you got to proceed with caution. If I don't see that immediate rebalance in here, if we violate this fair value gap, that's not a good thing. So we want to see immediate rebalance happening inside here after it touches this 20. And then we'll look for a setup. Depending on where this immediate rebalance is, that'll become most likely our stop loss. I'm just kind of putting this down just to show you guys what it would look like. Targeting all-time highs. 4.47, but that just depends on where this all stops. So we've hit that 20. US 500 and US 30 have not dropped, did not do a deep retracement. Let's see if they do. Five minutes to 11. Remember, here's the POC right here. Let me just zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see it. That's where most people went in for a long. We can even see what happened here. That's the last low. That's the last high. There's the POC. Market could come back and take this out. Let's see. Three minutes, 37 seconds left in this candle. Till I see a candle close green, I don't even need to drop. I don't have to like look. Not interested. Do I think US 500 will make it all the way down here? I'm not sure. But I'd like to see it at least take this low out. Let's see if this is our immediate rebalance. If it just wants to drop lower, 1 minute 35 seconds left. Looks like we're getting that immediate rebalance now. "19 seconds left. I want to see it close before I even drop down to the 1M. 10 seconds. So we left us at least one fair value gap. It's right there. Now let's see if on the 1 minute, if we respect it or blow past it. So there is no 1 to 3 in here. So 1 to 1.86. Not interested in that. Not even a 1 to 2. And that's only if it comes back in here. Actually, sorry, wait. Yeah, it'd still be 1, under 1, because we'd have to get in somewhere here after we get that immediate rebalance. So there's really no setup. And again, this is the other thing you want to be careful about. You can see all the things you want to see, and if it doesn't fit the criteria, then it's not worth it. And again, if it takes off without us, it takes off without us. But NAS is the only one that gave us a deep retrace, or decent retracement, I should say. Gave us a 5M bullish fair value gap. Now, this is the last point of confluence. 1M, bullish fair value gap, tapped, immediate rebalance. Pretty much the same thing we just saw. "27 minutes left in our stream. Again, I'd like to see this fair value gap tapped. Otherwise, not interested. Just some consolidation right now. This consolidation could lead to, again, the manipulation move, which might drop us down here and then push up, but let's see. But consolidation doesn't need to have a manipulation move. 23 minutes left. Still just waiting. This is the only place that I'd like to see it come into. Obviously, the risk to reward is not even good, so I'm not even interested, but we're going to follow this trade through. This is where I'd like to see it come back into and then push from. If it keeps going, then it keeps going. Look like we're getting a push here a little bit. Let's see if it comes all the way down here. Again, it could just keep going off of this fair value gap, but this is where I'd like to see it come down to. 18 minutes left in our stream. Yeah. See, it's just not interesting from here. This is where it turned around off this fair value gap, which, by the way, it barely did. Didn't even touch it, or barely touched it, I should say. If you look at US 500, we see consolidation happening right here on the 5M. This could drop both of them. Just want to see this on the 5M real quick. So we've already taken that high. That could be the push. I just, again, just didn't make any sense from here. We'll watch it. As soon as it crosses this, we'll call it a session. But it goes to show you, just because you know where it's going doesn't mean that you can get the right foothold or that your risk to reward is going to work. Especially on days like today, again, CPI, PPI. You want to wait for all of the confluence to be met. Technically, it did tap this fair value gap and go up, but the risk to reward didn't make any sense. Didn't even make sense from down here. But we wanted to watch it just to see. And it just took off. So we'll conclude our session there. Please check us out on fractaleffects.com, where we teach high probability trading. We're live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So we'll be back next week. Please hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know when we're live. Check us out on all those social medias, fractal.effects. We're always uploading educational material, going over our trades even when we're not live. Have a great rest of the day and a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week.